No countdown.
It's coming, I'm telling you. Okay. Here we are.
We're here. Welcome to the Teachers Pep Rally. Everyone, if you missed our last episode about teaching happy with Kim Strobel, go back and check it out on your favorite audio platform and or by visiting your YouTube channel. Speaking of teaching happy, Pete, we are diving into a topic that's key to every educator's growth and success, professional development, which in a minute we'll share we've been doing already tonight. What does it take to stay ahead in this ever-changing classroom environment? How can we make learning meaningful for teachers at every stage of their careers? Pete and I will explore strategies, challenges, and the powerful impact that the right kind of professional development can have on teaching. So whether you're a new teacher, a seasoned pro, this episode will be packed with insights and inspiration to help you grow as an educator. So welcome.
Wow, that was great.
Thanks.
It
Does that
only
sound
goes
good?
downhill from here.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows, we are without Fred tonight. So
Can you tell?
the kids have run loose in the building.
Yeah,
Pete
I'm
is
on the tech side for the first time. And I was telling Aaron before we went on, I feel like it's the first Zoom during COVID, and I'm trying to teach first graders and second graders as their grandmothers watching and trying to do music class. And I'm having that post-traumatic stress right now. It's like, holy cow, all the credit in the world to Fred for doing this. There's a lot
he
of little
makes it
buttons
look
and things.
easy.
Yep.
Easy.
So.
And by the way, so don't worry about Fred. He's still with us. He's still part of the Teachers Pep Rally. He actually had an opportunity to be a part of something. He got picked to be a part of something that's going to help him to continue to grow and stretch. And so we're super excited for him with this opportunity.
We are.
But it means that he just may not be with us. He'll be with us in spirit, but he will not be with us here in some of the conversations. But don't worry, he'll be back. In the meantime, bear with us as we try to figure this out and hopefully get some laughs in.
I'm
So
just gonna push buttons.
if you're going to be listening to this on audio and you're hearing this, treat yourself next week with our guests, because we'll be hosting a guest and trying to, use all the bells and whistles and get this thing going live. But,
Yes, this is our test drive.
Yeah.
How was your week, Aaron? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm very tired tonight, but I'll be all right. This always gets me going. I just, Pete, sleep is just something I don't get too much anymore. I just think, no.
As we're getting older.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Do you see the videos or the memes? A lot of times it's on Instagram where they're showing your brain in the middle of the night and it's like someone dancing the salsa. That's me. My brain all of a sudden just decides it's going to just wake up and just become a party or worry about things that I'm not really worried about, or I don't know.
I see on Instagram those apps that monitor your sleep.
Oh.
How many times you do this in the night, how many times you do that in the night, what words you yell out in the middle of the night, what's this, what's that, your REM, your ATM, your this and that. I mean, I'm thinking about that. I'm curious what comes out of me at night from the days that I have. What names of children I'm saying.
Right, exactly. Or of colleagues.
Right. Oh, you better believe it. Hey, real fast before we dive in even deeper, all serious, we're sending serious thoughts and prayers to everybody involved who was involved in the past storms that went through the Southeast, and then everybody who's being affected by Milton down there in Florida now. If you can, please donate to a trusted organization and help in any way. Just reach out to people. And I've noticed the kids have been a little crazy, a little bit more than usual. And on the way home, I was wondering why. And I'm like, I heard this one saying they have family in town, and this one saying how late they've been up, and this one saying, oh, my parents are working weird hours. We just don't know what people are going through. So, just find that in your heart when they're being little firecrackers or big firecrackers.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure. I mean,
people are going through a lot.
we're adults, and I can't tell you how many times I've been in a room and people are it's just heavy hearts because
Yeah. And it's been a steady stream of just really deep, serious, intense news.
yeah,
And it's a lot for people. So if it's weighing on us adults, imagine what it does to the kiddos. So just something to keep in mind when we're going through our days.
for sure. And actually, it's interesting. So as we're talking, Pete, my phone just lit up, and it's
Oh,
my family in Orlando,
oh,
and it's a picture of them in the dark because they don't have any power, and they're safe. They're all hunkered down, and you know, just
thinking of everybody, really.
just
We have
finding
family
something
in
to do.
Tampa, so I'm on the same page. I understand. So,
Yeah, yeah. So
all
we're
right.
we're thinking about you all as the storm is coming through while we record this, but also afterwards. And
Yeah,
I do find, and we have a lot of our schools and our districts. Our district is finding ways to collect donations and get them, as you said, to the reputable
yep,
people. We have an assistant principal at one of my schools I used to teach at. She's from West North Carolina, which was hit bad. So, just finding little ways to let people know you care
yep.
and you're thinking about them.
And
So,
one thing I do is I get frustrated when people, they make a post, oh, help here, do this, do that. And I'm like, but you're not helping. How do I know what you're doing? So if I make a post for our nonprofit, for our theater group, I'll say, please join us in helping. And I go and I get some reliable sources and all, but I don't do that until after I make a donation of some kind. So that's important to me. Try to walk the walk, for sure.
yeah, I
Yep.
think that's
So that's
really
great
good.
that people in your school are doing the same thing.
Absolutely. I love that. That's really good advice. Well, here we are in October, and for us in particular, Pete, our schools, we went back late July, right?
Yeah.
Early August. So I don't know about you. Well, we haven't had any kind of fall break yet. I think your
We
group
did.
did.
Kind of.
So we are zombies this week, like slap happy at moments. I mean,
Do you
it's
guys get a breather coming up?
just a little breather. So we've got for our teachers and our students, let's see, Monday will be Columbus Day or
Right.
Indigenous Day, I think, right?
Right. Yep.
So everyone's off, and then Tuesday and Wednesday will be our teacher work days. So the kiddos will have totally off, which is great, and the teachers can maybe slow down a little bit, and that time
Us too.
is so precious, right? To
Right.
have just to do whatever we need to do, grading, contacting
Report cards.
parents, report
Yep. Boom.
cards, yeah, all that
So
kind of
that
stuff.
that kind of ties in what we were thinking about talking about tonight.
Yeah, it is. So there's the teacher work days, which are great. And I don't know about you, but for our school district, that's schools kind of have a little more say in how they want that day to look for their staff, where our professional development days or professional learning days are usually um, provided by the district, right? So it's like some kind of trainings that you need to take or certain things you need to do as a school, but you're given the protocols. Is that how it is for you?
Yep. Yep. So like the same thing, we have those big wide professional days. It's kind of dictated, but then we have a work day coming up Monday, and they're hosting at another location something specific just for music teachers. So I requested permission to attend it, and I'm just so thankful that my supervisor is doing that because it hasn't been that way, and
Yeah.
it makes all the difference when it's relevant, and it's like you
Yes.
know
Yeah, and that's what I kind of wanted us to talk about tonight. So I mean, right off the gate, you're kind of saying a couple things. One, you saw that there was an opportunity for something within your content that you teach, and
Right.
you asked and thankfully got permission to go. So that's great. So that's important. And then the other thing too is that, I'm not seeing the opportunities for professional development, especially outside of a district, happening as much as it used to.
Mm,
And I think that it's important for us to try to find opportunities to do that. And sometimes that means maybe having to find the funds to be able to go.
yep.
I know a lot of teachers who have written for grants and gotten it, or done a GoFundMe, or They write a rationale, I guess, to get the approval, and they'll get it, or I don't know,
But
or
see,
they
even that is challenging for us because like we have some situations and oh, write a grant, oh, do this, oh, do that, and we're already kind of tapped out. It
yeah.
would be so nice if there was something already in place that teachers could, instead of jumping through that last hoop of fire, they could say, hey, I'm interested in this. It seems like it's a lot still for people to go through to get to that. And it's unfortunate that it has to be that way.
And then you don't even know if you can go.
Right.
Right? You're gonna maybe get the money, but then you still have to get it approved if you get the money.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so I don't know. I was just curious to hear about, let's kind of visit some of the professional development that we have done as educators that we thought were effective. And what kind of impact, you and I met, if you
That's
think
right.
about it, at a professional development thing.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one. It wasn't necessarily for educators, but it ends up having a good handful of educators that
Right.
attend.
Right. Well, like
And
here's a thought, like why, unfortunate, I wish educators would be more trusted with that time and money, but why does it always have to be for educators? You know what I
right.
mean? Like it could be something indirectly related to our field or even not at all. It's just another way to look at things.
Yeah. Like,
Let's learn this new skill from an expert in a field that's completely out of the classroom, but it could really help our classroom.
yeah, like change management would be great.
Right. Right. Anything with
Um,
technology,
mhm.
it let me drive down to the city and spend the day with working musicians and let me see how things are working in that office and the publicity and let me have a meeting with their education person, their community outreach person. I could say, well, this is what it's like in the burbs. This is what it's like in the burbs. Let me talk to you about that so I can learn what's going on in the city and let's see what we can do together. But
Yeah. Create
people
your
don't
own
think that way.
menu. I like that. I like that. Well, if you think about the ones you've done in the past, what are some of the characteristics that you
Right.
liked about the ones that were effective? Like
So
what
I
made
made a
them?
checklist on the way home in the crazy traffic.
Oh, good.
So really important to me is the presenter likable? Is it something that we're going in at the end of the day and are we feeling a little bit attacked, beat up? Are we going to feel like we're not doing something right? Or
Right.
is the person coming saying, hey, you know what? I understand it's the end of the day. I understand you're tired. I understand the kids have been firecrackers. I have a few jelly beans that are going to be so great for you, and I want to help you. And I want to work with you. And I don't want somebody that's just going to stand up there and present. It drives me crazy when people just read off PowerPoints and read off slides. It drives
Oh,
me nuts. You know, talk to me. Is the person relatable? And
yeah.
then another thing I would ask is it relevant? And a lot of the time, as a specialist, it's not. But at the same time, I need to think it's important. The optics are important that I'm there with the rest of the staff. If they have to be there for a long period of time, it's important that I'm there with them. Because sometimes, they say, specialists, you don't have to be here. And I feel bad about that sometimes. And I always feel like, are we getting are we getting the stink eye? So we walk out, you know, I feel bad about that. So is it relevant? And then sometimes that's on me. Is there a way that I can toss this upside down and get inside of it and see, all right, it is relevant in this weird way, in this little detour way. So I think about that and what they're saying to us, is it attainable and is it sustainable?
Mm,
Like, what am I going to have to do to apply this to our everyday living and breathing in the classroom? And is it going to turn things upside down? Is it going to help? What is it going to put my kids through? What is it going to put me through? And what's going to have to give way? Because nobody's inventing more time and nobody's taking stuff off the list for us.
yeah.
So is it something that if I apply this method, if I apply this new wonderful thing, is it something that's going to grind me down quicker or is it truly going to help? So that's something I was thinking about. And I think that goes to my last point. I'm all about a balanced classroom. I'm all about a balanced classroom. The kids come in, I do a high energy activity. I get some of the jitters out. We go into some movement, some rhythm, and then we'll go into some singing. And then, okay, now we're going to go into a little bit of maybe some culture or some music history, music theory, because now we got the jitters out and they're focused, they're learning, and then we'll end with something. And what is that going to do if I throw this new little ingredient into our recipe? What is that going to do to the overall, end of our lesson? That's important to me. Is it going to truly benefit my students, and is it going to truly benefit me as an educator? Does that person, the presenter, are they really in there to help us educators and our kids? Or are they just in there to check something off their resume and say, hey, look, I spoke at these group of teachers, give me the check, I'm moving on to the next one? That's important to me.
Yeah, that's a really good list. And I just noticed, so in our, we invite all of you to join us real time if you have a chance, so you can be part of the conversation. So I just noticed Carrie Lynn's in here, and she's saying the same thing. We were talking about, a lot of districts, the budget is not necessarily full for professional development. And in her case, she says it pretty much needs to be free. There are some great free opportunities, but at the same time, some of this stuff costs money to put together something that is relevant, right, Pete, or that allows you to have the time and space to work on things. I've started to get in the mindset that if you're doing professional development, whether it's you're going somewhere else or you're doing it within your own school district, just like we have started doing more and more with students over the years, I think you have to embed time to allow participants to actually work on it. I personally think gone are the days where you just listen to someone tell you some kind of great idea, maybe show you a couple ways of how they did it,
right,
and then, everyone claps and it's done. I think part of the time in that agenda needs to be allowing the participants to walk with that with you and try to figure it out how they could do that in their district or in their classroom, so that when they leave, they've already got some kind of little thing that they feel like they can try when they go back.
You got to let them breathe. Let people talk, let people move. Oh my gosh, here's a thought. Let's have some fun. Let's have some laughter. I guarantee they'll remember it more. They'll be more engaged. It's going to be a more pleasant experience for everybody. Just like we read the room of our class, it needs to be in that room as well.
Definitely.
So
that was a good little list. I like that one.
Thank you. I did that in the traffic. And that's awesome, Carrie. What a great comment. Thank you so much. And thank you for the opportunity to figure out how to put a comment on the screen.
Yes. As we are learning some new things ourselves, because Fred is not here to take care of this for us. So we're having fun. So Pete's going to play around and
that's all.
Watch the YouTube video if you want to get a few laughs.
There we go.
All right. So I'm curious though, have you been to any professional development opportunities where they cater it to fit whatever experience you have, so that it's whether you're new, because I kind of did that in the introduction, whether you're new or a veteran teacher or somewhere in between? Do you find that you've gone to those and you feel like it kind of hits no matter where you are in your career?
I haven't been to one specifically catered to, like, all right, teachers that have been 15 years and up, come on over this way. Newbies, come over here. I know our district has an academy of sorts at the beginning of the year for new teachers. Right. But other than that, it's kind of like you're all in the fishbowl. And that's a thought, because wouldn't it be nice if, I'm going on my 20th at this school. Wouldn't it be nice if we're all, we have a second to, let a little bit out. How you feeling? What's going on? Oh, At the same time, I think if you get a lot of those alikes together, it could turn into a griping session too sometimes.
Yeah.
We don't want that either.
Yeah.
And that might be on the presenter. That might be the person at the front of the room to say, okay, hold up. Let's pull this together and let's get this in. The facilitator. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you totally did. And I was sitting here thinking about, I did something either last week or 2 weeks ago for my role, and I was working with aspiring assistant principals. And before I got there, I realized, you know what? The activity I have for them to do, they need to be probably with other people that teach their level. So basically, if they're going to be assistant principals in elementary school versus middle school versus high school, because there's different policies or ways that you handle scenarios based on that. So I split them up to be with like, I don't want to say minded, but the similar roles so that they could work on that. But in other cases, I think it'd be beneficial to mix that up, right? Maybe put a veteran teacher with a newbie for an activity at professional development. And that way you're getting, I think new teachers have just as much to say as veteran teachers.
Right. And I like also piggybacking on that, I also like the opportunities where I can spend the day with, so I'm at elementary, can I spend the day with the middle school and the high school teachers in my feeder schools?
Yes.
So there's some vertical alignment. Say, so how's this group doing? Oh, really? They're struggling with that? That's a shame because they were really strong when they were with me. Or the other way around. Oh my gosh, I never worked on that with them. How are they doing with this? And where are we at with things? What can I do to better help you? What are you noticing when the kids are coming up to you that they're not strong on, or what we can work on more of, or what are we wasting our time on? And or we were our feeder schools, we were working on this big gigantic cluster concert. And we all laughed at the name of it, and it started to turn into a cluster concert. And so we said, okay, we like the idea, the nugget of a really beautiful thing is there, but we need more time to do this right. So it's on the back burner. But we were really thinking about, wouldn't that be amazing to do something with the elementary schools, the middle schools, and the high school vertically together on some sort of performance type situation. So I love those opportunities where we can break out and do, it's not the traditional setup for you're sitting down, you're there the whole time, you're quiet, and you're just listening to somebody talk. I'm done with those.
Yeah. And I think if we could find opportunities for, and if you are in a school district where they are doing this, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you come on and talk. But where they are opening up, hey, it's a teacher work day for all of our staff and teachers in our school district. And they've made those opportunities for like what Pete was talking about. Let's get the feeder schools together today, right? And have each PLC, each department meet together, and like you said, let's talk about what it looks like when these kids start elementary school all the way to high school.
And I also like the idea of, wouldn't it be nice if at one of these, the gym teacher gets up and says, this is what I do with every grade. This is what I do every day. This is the custodian, this is what the lunch ladies go through. This is what the art teacher, this is what the math team prepares. This is what our tech person goes through when there's a terrible update that gets pushed out in the middle of the night or something like that. Wouldn't it be great if we took these opportunities to say, hey, walk just one day in my shoes. Let me share with you what I go through, because then we just understand a lot more of each other, and we can figure out ways to help each other, maybe streamline things, and just have more consideration to each other. It's like we're all busting our butts.
Yeah.
Erin, when you're preparing something, because you speak at districts and different events, what do you put in your mind? Okay, you're sitting down on a black piece of paper and you're like, I want to do this amazing presentation, no pressure. What goes into your mind when you're putting it all together?
The first thing I do is I say, how am I going to make sure this is a two-way conversation? That it's not just me being the leader who's doing all the talking and instructing people on what to do during this time. I truly sit there and say, this time is valuable, not so much for me, but for the people that I'm working with and getting to collaborate with. So that's usually the first thing is, what's my idea for whatever the topic is that this can turn into an activity, a two-way conversation, some kind of collaboration, shoulder to shoulder partner, whatever it is. And once I figure that out, I can then start reverse engineering the rest of it, right? Like, what's the introduction going to be? How am I going to get people starting to feel comfortable with sharing and laughing and, getting comfortable with being a part of this? So it's not just me. Then I make the connection to whatever we're going to be doing, maybe give an example, and then go right into where most of the time is I really do think there has to be that space for people to play in whatever it is that you're there to talk about or introduce or sell, basically.
I love that.
Yeah.
Everybody take note.
That's what I want, right?
Right.
So that's what I do is I'm like, what do I want if I'm going to sit here and spend my time doing this.
I have like a little list in my back pocket of like these icebreaker activities that just they're a home run with whatever grade, whatever day,
Ooh.
whatever class. Boom, boom, boom. And I was gonna even offer a few of them at your conference last summer, and I just love I would love the opportunity to whip that out, roll the piano into the media center, and okay, Pete's in charge of this one. And all right, everybody get up. I promise it's not going to be stressful. You're not going to have to sing by yourself. We're going to have fun, and let's just jump in. And I have some activities that they're just going to be hooting and hollering, having a great time. And I know, team building, but it truly will be. It truly could be a good experience. That or going on a zip line.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I think there's something to be said about either when you're laughing with other people, and even if you don't know them, at
Yep.
some point you make some kind of eye contact of like, I can't believe we're doing this, to someone you probably have never met before. And then that's instantly a connection, right?
Yep.
Or if it's like zip lining or even singing, even if it's with a bunch of people, that can make some people very nervous or,
Right.
worried, but you're doing this together, so it's a shared experience. And
Right.
maybe that's what it is, Pete. It's making sure that there are shared experiences.
That's it.
Yeah. We're done.
We're done. You're welcome. And honestly, like I wouldn't even do singing with them. I have movement and just fun game type things that they're great.
Yeah,
Nothing
you gotta
wrong
get
with
up and move around.
So what have we been working on as far as I know we kind of alluded to in the beginning? We have a special event coming up.
Yeah, this fits nicely with what we were just talking about because we did kind of keep these things in mind. And Carrie Lynn, it's free because we know that is something educators are looking for, are some meaningful, relevant trainings and webinars that they can attend. So we are going to be facilitating a conversation leading with purpose, and it's discovering using your own personal manual system. So our friends, Marnie Stockman and Nick Cognilio, they wrote Lead It Like Lasso.
Yep.
And they've been doing some amazing events themselves around leadership. You don't have to be a Ted Lasso fan to understand the leadership stuff they're doing. So if you're just looking at whether it's you want to stay in the classroom, but you just kind of want to stretch yourself a little bit and try something new, whether it's with your colleagues or your students, or you're looking to go into another field in education, or you're a leader of a school or district and you just are kind of looking for some new and fresh ideas, then this is perfect for you.
That's it.
It's only an hour long. And you will get a CE certification when it's over. Everyone will get some credit for being there if you need that. And there will be some laughter, Pete, I think, right?
Hope so. I'm counting on it.
I am too. If you're there, for sure.
Oh.
And some in that space that I had mentioned, it's going to be two-way conversations. So you're going to have you, me, Fred, Marnie, and Nick. So that's 5 people that really love supporting educators be in that space with you for an hour.
Yep.
And you're going to walk away with, I think, at least 1 or 2 things that inspire you to, you can either take it and use it, or hopefully it'll just kind of help lift you up for whatever else you're looking to do, even if it's just to go back to your classroom and keep doing what you're doing.
I got a graphic with everything, and there's a QR code how to register, but it covers our faces. So I was waiting until Aaron was done talking. So there we go. We're going to all move in closer to the center.
Right, there it is, leading with purpose. Yeah.
So, hey, if you're watching on video, scan that QR code to register. And it's going to be a great
we
time.
need you to register. And there's a book giveaway. So they are going to give away a free copy of Lead It Like Lasso. You can buy your own. You do not need it for this webinar at all, but we just thought it'd be great to have some kind of gift to give away for our attendees. So again, like Pete said, you can hop on YouTube and scan the QR code to register. You can do it now if you're live with us. Or you can go to our Facebook page.
There we go.
Because I posted it just before popping on, and that's the Teachers Pep Rally podcast on Facebook. Just click on there. Registration is very simple and easy. And that way we will have your information and make sure you have everything you need to join us on the 28th from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time.
There we are. It's going to be fun. It's going to be
Yeah,
fun.
I'm
We're going to
super
hopefully, first of many, we hope. So it's exciting.
Absolutely. Well, Pete, thanks for driving and getting this all going and live, and for everyone that joined us
I got that going across the bottom now. Look at that little toy.
that is so fancy. We have a little, isn't that called
Technology.
something at the bottom? It's
Oh.
the little things. And it's reminding us that, we do have a teacher's hotline.
Yep.
So if you would like to share your teacher's story, please call it. It's 470-227-0877 or 470-227-0TPR. We want to hear how an educator made a difference in your life, or we want to hear something from you about what's happening in your school or classroom. Give us a little positive story that we can share out and model with everyone. We'd love to hear from you.
Here we go.
Where else can they follow us? Did I forget anything?
Okay, right. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We have our website, teacherpeprally.com. And also, wherever you're listening to us, audio, please subscribe, like, follow, leave some reviews, all that good stuff. And don't forget to join our webinar for the 28th.
Yeah. All right. I'm looking forward to it. And you know what else, Pete? Maybe I'll post on Facebook and Instagram the question out there of, tell us what was the best thing that you ever experienced with professional development. Let's ask our friends out there what they think.
There we go. Hey, everybody, have a great week. Be good to each other and hang in there with all that crazy weather.
Stay safe. Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.
Now, this is the part.